Welcome to another episode of Daily Fantasy Showdown. We're going to go ahead and get started. I had a pretty good Sunday yesterday with a group of guys. We won the mini slam. Basically, kind of put our heads together, threw a lineup in, and mini slam isn't as big as the big slam. It pays out 500 bucks. But hey, a win's a win. I've been cold for a couple weeks now, so it felt good to kind of put together a winning lineup. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. 6-game slate tomorrow. We got Westbrook on the board again. He just can't stop. I mean, look at this. 65 fantasy points a game over his last 6. I mean, this is unreal and ridiculous. You can't fade him. The only thing you can do is play some Westbrook lineups and some non-Westbrook lineups. Probably a 60-40 split in favor of Westbrook. So you're covered on both ends in case something happens, in case he gets injured, or in case he goes off. You need to have him in your lineups, especially in cash games. Curry's playing tonight, but tomorrow he gets the uninspiring defense of Damian Lillard. His price keeps going down. He's in steady 42 fantasy points a game. He's only playing 29 minutes. He doesn't really need to go off. So you know what you're getting out of him. He's going to 4x his value. It's pretty much guaranteed. Will he hit 50, 60, 70 points? No, because he doesn't need to. He's not the Beard. He's not Westbrook. He can do that stuff, but he just really doesn't have to. So he's steady. I like him against Lillard. I also like Lillard if Aldridge is out. Aldridge has sprained pinky or something like that. So keep an eye on that. Aldridge out, Lillard's value goes way up. You're starting him against Golden State. In fact, I would stack that game. I would try to stack Curry and Lillard if I could. It would be kind of tough, but hey, a man can dream. Next up, we got Reggie Jackson, who's been on fire lately. 39 fantasy points per game over his last 6. He had that crazy 20 assist game, 59 fantasy points just a few games ago. And look at that, 42, 45, 46. He's really found himself a home. Lowry might be out. It might be the DeMar DeRozan show. Look for Jackson to kind of take things over in that game. Even if Monroe comes back, I could really see Jackson having a big game tomorrow. Tony Parker isn't a bad play either. He had a few, he had that string of 40-point games about a week ago, a couple weeks ago now. And then he kind of fell off. I really don't love the play. I think he's kind of cooled off. He's too big of a risk right now. He's okay. I'd rather go with Ish Smith, who's playing Sacramento. And if you watch these videos, you know to play guards against Sacramento. He hasn't been going ham or anything like that, but he's 5,900. He's the guy with the upside there over Cannon. I like him over Cannon, but Cannon would be kind of a sneaky play because people would be on Smith. Maybe Cannon goes off instead. I don't know. Let's take a look at Cannon real quick and see what he's working with. 23 minutes a game, way too big of a risk. So ignore what I just said and just go with Ish Smith. Lynn Sanity Tour 2015, starting up tomorrow. He's going to be a starter. And man, who is he playing? He's playing some really, really bad team. I can't really remember who it is right now, but all I know is I was really excited about the matchup tomorrow, and he was going to be in my Mega Slam lineups in the FanDuel Mega Million Slam. If you haven't signed up to it, you can sign up through my link in the description below, but it's a $25 tournament. First place gets $100,000. It's a $1 million prize pool. So that's pretty much it at point guard. Shooting guard, we got Dwayne Wade. He's kind of cooled off lately after his little tear, but you can keep firing him up. He's playing Milwaukee. He's one of the top shooting guard plays on the board. DeMar DeRozan, if Lowry doesn't play, is the top shooting guard play on the board. I think even if he does play, he's still one of the top plays. He's playing Detroit. Detroit, they're not bad against that position, actually. If you look into some advanced stats, I think KCP is a little bit better than this opponent ranking kind of makes out to be, but still, his upside is there. I still like him tomorrow. Chris Middleton always in play, playing Miami. against Dwayne Wade and his creaky knees. You know, I like DeRozan, then I like Wade, and then probably Middleton. Danny Green, he's had a string of plays, but he usually is kind of streaky. It's a risk to start tomorrow, but he's got a pretty good matchup. Lou Williams, he had a little run earlier in the season, coming off the bench. Seems to have cooled off significantly. You never know, there could be garbage time in this game, and Sweet Lou will get a little bit more time than he usually does. So, might be worth a gamble tomorrow. Just keep an eye on that. Aflalo just hasn't done anything lately. Not worth starting. Start him at your own risk, but it's more of a risk than anything. No upside there right now. Other than that, I don't really notice any value plays. Maybe check the website draftshot.com or hop into the Facebook group. We update each other for injury all the time and keep each other posted. The links to the Facebook group are in the description below. So if you want to jump in, we talk daily fantasy sports all day, all night, and we just kind of help each other win. Small forward, kind of a wasteland again. Kawhi Leonard, top play on the board, averaging a pretty good amount of points, 38 fantasy points per game. Playing Dallas and Parsons, I think he can push the 40-point threshold tomorrow. Greek Freak, slowly becoming one of the best players in the league. He can do everything, stuff the stat sheet. Blocks, steals, assists, points, rebounds. He's averaging a whopping 40 minutes per game. That's as safe as it gets. And Wiggins is averaging that, or close to that too, but he just doesn't do what the Greek Freak does. Greek Freak actually is probably my top small forward play on the board tomorrow over Kawhi Leonard because his minutes are safe. You don't know what Popovich is going to do with his rotations. He could sit Leonard for, I don't know, God knows what. But he's also averaging 38.8 fantasy points per game as well. Lou Deng has a pretty good matchup playing Milwaukee. He's just not doing it anymore. I don't really know what happens. He's 30. He used to be Mr. Efficient, do it all. But he's just not doing it anymore. I don't know. Even the price point is kind of scary to start him. Moot, he's like Mr. Reliable value play who doesn't really do that much, but can sometimes push 30 points. And look, he snuck in a 44-point game right there. But, he's going to get 28 points a game, or 28 minutes a game, and average around 20 to 25 fantasy points. If you need a steady minute guy who just could come through by some sick twist of fate, this could be your guy. He's playing the Kings, and the Kings suck. I don't care if Rudy Gay is there or not, but they just suck. They give up points at every position, all positions. They have nothing to play for. Cousins is already rallying to rest. He could be checked out. This could be a game that Moot goes off, and he's 4,600, and you know what? If you want a star stack Westbrook, you're probably going to end up with Moot anyway, honestly. Iguodala, I don't think he's in play anymore because Klay Thompson is back. Harrison Barnes seems to be, he's okay, nothing special. If Nico is out, then you can probably play him. Is doubtful to play Tuesday. So there you go. Harrison Barnes, not a bad play tomorrow. Nico's out. I don't know who's going to be playing for Nico. But Barnes, he's getting a steady 25 minutes a game, 21 fantasy points. Maybe he can push that to 30 without Nico there. Power forward. Aldridge is out, so Draymond Green becomes the top power forward play on the board. Check if Aldridge is out. He's doubtful at this time. So Green should be able to run amok and push 40 points. 45 points would be nice. Next, we have Noel against the Kings, who are just terrible at all position. You heard me say that. Gets plenty of minutes, 30 minutes a game, 35 fantasy points a game. He kind of stuffs the stat sheet too, gets a lot of rebounds, blocks, some steals. He's really kind of come around and developed after losing his first season in the league. I really like Noel. I think he's got a pretty good future. Other than that, you want to go to Ghostface Ilyasova, whatever, Ghostface. Minutes are trending upwards, 33 minutes per game. He's getting 30 fantasy points per game. Okay, just ride the Ilyasova train bandwagon until his price hits around 7,000, and then you're going to have to give him pause. But right now, just start him. He's playing Miami. There's no Chris Bosh there. That little first place opponent ranking is wrong because there's no Bosh. So just he's one of the best plays on the board tomorrow, and I would try to stack him with Noel or Green as many lineups as possible. Other than that, I don't really see anybody else. Center, okay, Cousins, I just mentioned. He might be disinterested, but the matchup is going to make up for it. Even after his 36-point dud, I know 36 points is a lot, but for Cousins, it's a dud. He's still averaging 53.6 fantasy points per game over his last 4. Philly is terrible against bigs. He's far and away the top play at any position on the board tomorrow, and I'm going to have my most exposure to him, and I would probably stack him with Enes Kanter, who's going ham, and Russell Westbrook's MVP campaign, averaging 42 fantasy points per game over his last 5 on 34 minutes per game. He's playing LA. It's going to be a joke. There's blowout factor. Yeah, but just don't second guess yourself. Pull the trigger. Sometimes it's more than just blowout factor. And we've seen sometimes these games do become competitive. It's not as black and white. So don't confuse yourself and just start Kanter. Stack them with Westbrook if you can. If you can't, maybe use Big Val in there. Detroit's really bad against bigs. Big Val is so streaky, and he's always scary to start. I don't know what his deal is. But if there's a game he's going to go off, it's this one. All right, guys. Well, that kind of wraps it up. I appreciate you guys listening. Sorry I took a few days off. I went on vacation. It's been a little crazy. I've been setting up group lineups. We've been kind of pooling our money and trying to win together. And I was pretty successful the other night, so I haven't had as much time to write articles. I'm doing my best or post videos. But if you want to join the combo, kind of see what we're doing, join the Daily Fantasy Showdown Facebook group. And if you haven't signed up to FanDuel or Draftkings, click the link, sign up. I get a % of your rake. Support your boy. I'm doing this for free right now. Thank you guys and have a very good night.